Good morning, welcome all of you. Bande Mataram. So great wish on this great day. It is a stormy morning. You can find the sound of rain all around. Sky is grey. In this unique scenario, you can find a great topic that is on don't try to pull the force. Never try to pull the force. That is the topic of discussion for this morning. Never try to pull the force. Force is there. It is supposed to come down because without the aid of this force, nothing tangible can be done. And you if you want to accomplish some work, definitely some force is required. It is the viewpoint of science. Everywhere it is applicable. So you need force to accomplish the work. But here also same thing. You need some force in your spiritual life and spiritual endeavor to complete up your task, what has been given to you, what has been bestowed upon you. So that actually you have to be very much careful, very much serious. Thing is that sometimes the force is coming with the call, because from your side there must be a call, constant call, and there must be one response from the divine. There are two powers that effect, that alone effect their in their conjunction the great and difficult thing which is the aim of our endeavor. Great and difficult thing which is the aim of our endeavor, that can be accomplished with the conjunction of two. What is the aim of your our endeavor? A fixed and unfailing aspiration that calls from below, call from below, from you, from us, a constant and integral, and from the above, it's the divine grace that answers. There are two powers that effect in their conjunction the great and difficult thing which is the aim of our endeavor. A fixed and unfailing aspiration that calls from below. Aspiration fixed and unfailing. And a supreme grace from above that answers. So when call is there, answer is there. Question is there, answer is there. Call, and you can go get the return in definitely you'll get. But thing is that they have to act simultaneously and they must unite in a single place. That is what. And the force, this transformation can only be done by a force infinitely greater than the man's force. Suppose you are there catching a fish, but actually, to your utter astonishment, your one bigger fish is caught in your net. So some people are there who are moving around you. They are trying to help. This is human aid, human help, and with this help, you are trying to pull out your fish that is there in the net. So sometimes, suppose you are going. You need some help from your time, from your neighbor. He is providing help, no problem for you. But here the scenario and the interest is totally different. The need is totally different. With no human endeavor and tapasya, no human endeavor and tapasya can rend the lead, tear the covering and save the vessel, and bring down into the world of obscurity and falsehood and darkness and death, obscurity. Light and life divine and immortal Sananda. Love and light and the immortal Sananda. Which is required. They have to come from top, and a force it has to descend. A light that has to come down. But thing is that it is not alone with, as your for mental wish or desire. It has to come only with the inner aspiration. And these have to be accomplished. And moreover, the purpose for which you are doing the sadhana, that can be accomplished only through two ways. That is through a force that is infinitely greater than man's force. Infinity is not a billion, trillion, thousand, lakh, or crore. Infinitely greater than man's force. Man's force into infinity. Something multiplied by infinity, it becomes infinity. But man's force, man's thought, it is quite limited, can be measured, can be assessed, can be manipulated. But here, infinitely greater than man's force, this force, it has to come, it has to work, there is no doubt of it. And if you really want to progress in the path of sadhana. But thing is that mother force don't pull, never pull the force, that force. We do, we pull. That is our strategy. It is done out of our ignorance. Never try to pull the force. That is the topic of discussion for this morning. And sometimes we pull. Like Kunti, when she gave birth to her initial children. So force that was descended, it was from either son or from Indra or something like this. So what thing is that it was very difficult and it proved a disaster. Of course, it was destined, but the thing is that without knowing how to call, that the mantra was made, was chanted, and with these chantings they manifested, and somehow there was conjunction, and somebody took part. It is a very difficult for her to manage, and finally Karna was made to float on the river Ganges. This is what you have seen. We have heard. This is the story of the maybe of the past, but actually it is a this moral, and the moral of the story still tells that we must be prepared when the force is coming. And mother also categorically stated three lines: man is too weak to bear the infinity's weight. That weight, suppose it is coming without any preparation, if you are calling the force, that will shatter the limit. It will break up the foundation. That the floor will break up. That is very sure. Truth born too soon might break the imperfect earth. It is not the earth is not prepared. Not it has not got its perfection. So you have to before you call now. You must have the thousand times you must plan, so check out the plan, you must think of. And I can give you the example of this Ganga, river Ganges, that great flow, it came down from the heaven. And this earth is not prepared. So what Lord Shiva, she had to bear in her jata. And through this jata, this river flowed from the heaven on the this material ground. And I can give you another example that is a bright example, most often you all know, that is supramental force. To bear the load of this supramental force, actually this earth was unprepared. Actually, for that, actually, Sri Aurobindo had to, our mother, they were the only solution. And Sri Aurobindo had to leave the body in order to bear the pressure of the supramental force. It got penetrated into very nerve and the cell, and this is working in the earthly atmosphere right now. Anyway, be prepared, and the mother force never try to pull the force. That will be disaster. If you pull, something is there, you can pull, no problem. Because there is a mango you see, it is actually in the ripe condition, very sweet. So you try to pull either by your one stick, or you want to throw stones, or you want to climb up, whatever is there. But the thing is that here, that is a different schedule, different phenomenon, and different structure of work. And here the complete whatever is being said here, that is different. Suppose you need it is too hot. 2 days, couple of days back, it was too hot. You aspired, you prayed for the heavy rain, and the rain it was there. This cloud was there, it has fallen. So think, okay, it is helpful to you, but too much of everything is bad. If it continues raining, it is already August. If it continues raining, then it will bring havoc, disaster. So everything is good within a limit. So if you feel you are going to cross the limit, you must be prepared, integral. Here, mother course never try to pull the force. Never, never, never the term is used. I would like to recommend something to you. In your desire for progress, that's what we do. Desire and no, is not aspiration. In your desire for progress and your aspiration for realization, that is the great thing. Desire, you are desiring for progress, that is also one higher type of desire. And the second, your aspiration for realization. take great care not to attempt to pull forces towards you. Two things you normally do. Number one, you have desire for progress. Number two, aspiration for realization. To accomplish them, to fulfill them, to achieve them, you do two things. One, you take great care to pull the process towards you. That is what normally done. Not only means people it is told about who are conscious really, because spiritual progress, spiritual realization, these are the great things. They are totally almost unknown to the common aware people, common-minded people who are staying in the ordinary atmosphere and ordinary consciousness. These are all unknown to them. And give yourself number one mother course, give yourself, then open yourself with the much disinterestedness as you can attain to a constant self-forgetfulness. Increase your receptivity to the utmost, but never try to pull the force. Force is required. Required for what? Actually, this force that will give yourself completely and open yourself. That is the initial preparation. Give yourself and open yourself with as much disinterestedness as you attend to the constant self-forgetfulness. Same equivalent. Constant forgetfulness and increase your receptivity to the utmost. And in receptivity must be there, but once you tell where it will be there, there is no opening, it is closed. So how can you accommodate all these things? So you have to open it, but never try to pull the force towards you. For wanting to pull is already dangerous egoism. Dangerous egoism. It is my ego, I will pull it out. It is my ignorance. Out of ignorance, this ego is coming. So it is. I am pulling it out, but thing is that it is very much. This is a dangerous egoism. Mother course, it is a dangerous egoism. So what you have to do? You have to aspire. You may open yourself. You may give yourself number three. First, you have to aspire. Second, you have to open yourself. Third, you must give yourself, but never seek to take. Give yourself without attempting to take. Not that the money or material value I am speaking, because normally people are interested to take. But here you try to give yourself. When things go wrong, sometimes you can find things go wrong. People blame the force. I asked, but actually it is destroyed. Some people are doing the tantra sadhana. You can see. Remember, when these powers are descending, so it is your duty to please themselves, to satisfy themselves. Even sometimes they will ask for the blood or something like a body, Nara body. You have to give offering some human being, human kid as an offering. That time you can't give it. Your plan and progress fails, and at that time also you are unable to go to do the right thing what really you want to do. Then what happens? You yourself, you give yourself, you get victimized, because you don't know if the force will come, and that is the demand of these powers are like this. So before, so this force actually that is but not the force that is responsible for responsible. It is ambition, egoism, ignorance, and weakness of the vessel. That is what we know. This is ambition we have, egoism we don't know, ignorance far from tracing, and fourth, weakness of the vessel. So out of all these things, this force is coming. It is normally, if something goes wrong, then actually it is people blame the force that you have come for whom actually I am destroyed, I have received, but actually I got the result which was contrary. But actually it is not the force that is responsible, but actually what really is responsible, that is your ambition, egoism, ignorance, and weakness of the vessel. But actually, you don't see, because this darkness, actually nothing is there. All the darkness beyond is actually below your feet, below the lantern, that vast, everything is there, but you are not able to understand. So you have to know, you have to identify, you have to know, you have to visualize those things. Give yourself generously and with perfect disinterestedness from the deepest point of the view. Nothing bad will happen to you. So two things you must do: one is give yourself, and give yourself generously. Second, with a perfect disinterestedness, and from the deeper point of view, nothing bad will happen to you. If you do, you fulfill these two conditions: give yourself generously, and second, perfect disinterestedness. Try to take, and you will be on the brink of abyss. If you try to give yourself generously, and secondly, with the perfect disinterestedness, then nothing bad will happen. Suppose instead of giving, you try to take, then what happens? You will be at the brink of the abyss. In the brink of the abyss, that must be taken care of. So we have to do, definitely we must be conscious that force is required. This force, it has got its value for transformation, because so far this integral yoga is concerned, the use of this force is absolutely necessary. There is no doubt of it. But thing is that it must have its own way of working. It has got its own time of coming. And for that, actually, what you have to do, you have to prepare yourself. Instead of preparing yourself, what really we are doing, unpreparedly we are calling and blaming. When we are getting bad results, we are blaming upon others. But the thing is that we must blame ourselves, because we are unable to see our incompetency, inefficiency, ignorance. All these things are actually the combination of all these things: egoism, ignorance, ambition, weakness of the vessel. So unable to detect, unable to know. For that, actually, we are creating a bad atmosphere for ourselves. Nobody is responsible. And the steer of the force here, the force of the divine is always there in silence. The force of the divine is always there in silence and as in action. In silence as in action. Inactive in silence, active in the manifestation. You can't know. When it is in silence, you can know, you can know it is inactive, and when it is in the process of alive, active, when it is in the process of manifestation. The energy spent is a great in the energy spent is as great as the repression as in the expression. So in negation as in the affirmation, in silence as in the sound, you can find this energy, presence of the energy. That is a great thing. The force of strength, that goes to make the strong man, is no whit greater than the force of weakness that goes with to make them weak. Same thing, same thing, force. That is depends upon where you stand and what really you are doing. So the same force, if it is utilized properly, you will be great, and your movements will be great. If it is neglected, you are going down, and it will be weakness and falter for you. Very good, interesting message. You can remember the force of strength that goes to make the strong man is no whit greater than the force of weakness that goes to make weak. Same thing, how you are utilizing the force. No unnecessarily, without knowing, never try to call the force. Be prepared, aspire, be open, and finally the force will come, descend in you, and try its work. And you will be able to achieve Vande Mataram.